Alright guys, here to put together a deadlift platform, as the name suggests. Pretty simple thing to do. All you're going to need some of this rubber matting to protect your weights from the floor and protect the floor from your weights. A couple of sheets of plywood to build your platform to stand on, so you get a nice solid platform to stand on and also hold the whole thing together. And some timber to go around the outside just to trim it up and make sure weights don't roll off the platform and go somewhere they're not meant to go. That's pretty well all you need for materials. On top of that, obviously your marking, cutting gear, saw, liquid nails, drill, and you're pretty well good to go. Alright, so the first thing to do will be to cut all the plywood and your timber for around the outside to width, and what's going to govern that will be if you grab your bar, what you want to worry about is obviously making sure the rubber matting comes just inside to where the weight plates are going to go. That's going to give you your biggest platform to stand on and a little bit of playroom for your weights so you don't end up dropping them on the plywood. Not that it'd be the end of the world, but the rubber mat's there for a reason. So I've got this bar which is a 6-foot bar, which is only a short one at the moment, but I'm just about to upgrade to a bigger bar, so I'm going to allow for the bigger bar. So that will be give me about 1100 for the platform. So the timber panel, which will be made out of plywood, will be 1100 in the middle, and then the rest of the edges will be made up by this 12mm rubber matting, so it's all nice and flush and all at the same height, so you don't get any deficit or deficit out of the platform to start with. So let's start cutting some stuff up. Alright, so YouTube's licensing picked up the background music on the radio, so I am having to do a voiceover through the bits where I was talking. So, at this stage we got everything cut. We've got the middle base, the standing platform cut to 1150 by 1040. We've got all the timber cut for around the outside to make the trim, to make sure the weights stay where they're meant to and don't end up rolling off the platform, which is always good. And the main platform base, that stays the full size of the sheet, just to maximise the size of the platform. For both sheets of ply, I've used 12mm for the base, keep the platform a bit lighter. For the standing platform, I've used 12mm because I've got 12mm rubber matting, and it's obviously important to keep it all the same size so we don't end up with a deficit one way or the other. So yeah, just start putting it together. Alrighty then, as you can see we've got the timber glued on and screwed on all the way around the outside. There to make sure weights don't roll off the platform when you don't want them to, which is always nice. So the next thing to do will be to stick down the standing platform. So just mark in to the center of the sheet on both sides. Probably get away with just doing it on one side, but if you do it on both, you'll know that you get it nice and square. Then grab the standing platform, do the same thing on that, measure in halfway and make a mark. And from that you'll know, when you line up the two, the standing platform will be exactly in the center of the sheet. So you'll know that you're maximizing the amount of space you have either side of you for the weights if you happen to go a bit sideways with one of your lifts. So get it lined up with the marks, then load up the back with a whole pile of glue. More is definitely more. Get a good amount around the edges, and then chuck some screws in it, remembering you've only got 24 mil, so use about 20 mil screws to screw it down, and then we'll be ready to chuck on the rubber. Alright, so we got the rubber matting and we got the nice solid platform in the middle. You will find a benefit of having a proper deadlift platform is that you got a nice flat stable base to lift from. If you've been lifting off something that's not 100% stable, it's like lifting in running shoes. It's not ideal for deadlifting, weightlifting, anything where you got to press weight through your feet. So for either side we've got this rubber matting. Convenient thing about the rubber matting is it just cuts with a Stanley knife, which is handy. So just slide it into place, and then you should be able to just make a couple of nicks either side, and then mark it up with some kind of straight edge. Use a level, use a bit of timber, anything straight will do. And then basically stick it down the same way as we do with the plywood. Alright, so we've got the rubber cut to size, and basically what you want to do is the exact same thing we did with the plywood. So load up a good layer of glue on the bottom, make sure you get it pretty close to the edges all the way around the outside, because that's going to be the bit that separates, if it separates anywhere. Then flip it over, get it nice and tight into where you want it, and then chuck a few screws in it just to hold it there until the glue goes off. And you will have your deadlift platform. What you want it to be. And chuck a few screws in it, just hold it there while the glue goes off. So that's it, your do-it-yourself weightlifting platform. All you needed was 70 by 35 all the way around the outside. Just any standard pine is fine. Plywood back, I use 12mm sheets that are 24 by 2.4. Another 12mm sheet to cut your standing platform out of. And these rubber mats. All I'll probably do now, put a strip through the middle for a setup line, so you can set up the same way every single time. Other than that, it's good to go. Let me know if it helped you out.